Hey everyone, have you been hunting for a hollowbody guitar that actually nails that warm, jazzy tone without breaking the bank? If you've been scrolling through pages of guitars wondering which one truly delivers, I think I've found something worth your time. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I recently got my hands on the Ibanez AF115 Artstar Hollowbody electric guitar in Ebony Fingerboard with that aged whiskey burst finish, and after playing it for a few weeks, I've got some real thoughts to share. This isn't one of those guitars that looks amazing but feels awkward to play. It actually balances aesthetics and playability pretty well. Whether you're into jazz, blues, or even some lighter rock, this guitar has a voice that stands out. First off, the full hollow design really does what it promises. The moment I plugged it in, the warmth just poured out. It's not one of those thin, brittle hollow bodies that sound harsh when you dig in. Instead, it has this rich, resonant tone that's perfect for chord voicings and smooth single-note lines. If you're playing jazz standards or even some classic blues, this guitar responds beautifully to your touch. The flamed maple back and sides add a nice brightness and projection, so even when you're playing in a small room, the sound carries without being too boomy. The spruce top is another standout. It gives the guitar a clear, articulate voice with a dynamic range that responds well to your picking dynamics. Whether you're playing softly with a clean tone or pushing it a bit harder for some growl, the top keeps things balanced. I found myself enjoying the clarity when I was working on some chord melody arrangements. Every note rang out cleanly without getting muddy. Now, let's talk about the neck. The three-piece nyatoh/maple construction gives it a solid feel without being too heavy. The neck itself is fast and comfortable, which is great if you're used to Ibanez's slim neck profile. The macassar ebony fretboard adds a touch of elegance and a smooth surface that makes bending and vibrato feel effortless. The medium frets with the Artstar edge treatment are a nice touch too. They're not too tall, so they don't get in the way, but they're tall enough to make string bending feel precise. The pickups are where this guitar really shines for jazz players. The Super 58 custom pickups deliver that classic, vintage jazz tone with a warm, slightly dark character. They're not overly bright or shrill, which can be a problem with some hollow bodies. Instead, they give you that smooth, articulate sound that's perfect for clean arpeggios and warm chords. I tried running it through a clean amp and a slightly overdriven tone, and both sounded great. If you're into that Wes Montgomery or Pat Martino kind of sound, this guitar nails it. Another thing I appreciated was the build quality. Ibanez has a reputation for solid craftsmanship, and the AF115 doesn't disappoint. The aged whiskey burst finish looks stunning. It's not just a pretty face. The hardware feels solid, and the tuning stability is impressive for a hollowbody guitar. I took it through a few tuning changes and bends, and it stayed in tune without any issues. For live players, the AF115 is a great option. The slim neck and lightweight body make it comfortable to play for extended periods, and the resonant tone cuts through a mix without needing a ton of gain. I played a few gigs with it, and it held its own whether I was using a clean tone or adding a bit of reverb and chorus. So, what are the downsides? Well, if you're used to super fat humbuckers or high-gain tones, this guitar might not be your first choice. It's designed for clean and slightly overdriven tones, so if you're chasing a modern metal sound, you might want to look elsewhere. Also, while the neck is fast and comfortable, some players might prefer a slightly thicker neck profile if they're used to Gibson-style guitars. But for jazz, blues, and even some indie or classic rock, it's a fantastic fit. Overall, the Ibanez AF115 Artstar Hollowbody electric guitar is a solid choice if you're after a warm, resonant tone with great playability. It's not the cheapest hollowbody out there, but it's far from the most expensive, and the quality really shows. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting to explore hollowbody guitars, this one's worth a serious look. If you're curious and want to see more details, the link is below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.